Who's the stricter boss? You or Narayan sir?
I think the answer is me for sure.
I think Narayan
So,
sir will be
yeah,
honest.
it's me for sure because it's very important. I mean, both of us being chartered accountants. Personally, I'm
So Narayan sir, you've been a part of this journey since day one. Let's go back to the early days. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced when you started MyBranch? And did you ever imagine it would scale to this level?
So let me first start with what was the philosophy behind starting this. In our time, those few years back, a posting in Tier 2 city or Tier 3 city for an employee was looked upon as a penalty posting. So when we started the concept of MyBranch, I said our branches has to be as good as you know what are there in the main city, so that an employee who is posted there does not feel that it is a penalty posting. So we wanted our branches to be as good as Tier 1 city branches. Second, our objective was that we should be pan-India player, and even on day one, we had planned that we will be in 300 cities. So we had listed down the district headquarters. So there were about 675 districts at that time in India. Out of that, we selected 300 districts, and we said we would be in these 300 districts. We would be there, which would cover 80% business for India. So the idea is to facilitate business for corporate so that they can move faster, they can achieve their targets faster without bothering about major elements such as administration, setting up things, and also the cost advantage.
You've reached a journey of 75 cities across India, which first started in Jamshedpur as your first city, and today we're in Ambala. If you could give me 3 words to describe this journey, it would mean a lot to our viewers and all of us here.
Satisfying, expected, and long way to go.
Now sir, I have a question. Why Ambala as your 75th city? Kushal sir, if you can take this one.
So as you're aware, we are actually, as being in co-working flexible space, we are actually flexible to the core. So we actually go ahead with the anchor-based model. So it so happened that Ambala turned out to be a 75th city, and also TCS, which is one of our largest clients, which is one of the largest clients in India,
yeah.
also became our anchor client for that city. So it was, hitting with one stone, two glasses, as they say.
Lovely.
So because of that, Ambala came about. And again, Ambala, if you take in North India, it's one of the prospering cities and an upcoming city. So yeah, so all the takes were there. So we thought Ambala was the right city to choose based on our model.
Building a network as vast as 75 cities requires more than just strategy. It demands values that resonate. Narayan sir, what values have been at the core of MyBranch's growth, and how have they shaped the way they connect the business across the country?
Firstly, conviction about your own thought process, and second is belief in your people. These two things are very important, because if you have conviction that it can be achieved, then it is only through teamwork, through people that you can achieve it. And if you have conviction about their skills, if you have conviction about their genuineness or their, I would say, their right attitude, I don't think so anything is difficult. And that is what we try to do. We try to give them as much freedom as possible so that they can bring best out of them.
So Kushal sir, all the people who work very closely with you know you have this vision for MyBranch, which is workspace without limits, and that really sets MyBranch apart. How does MyBranch operate and expand while staying true to its philosophy?
So it's important that you need to create your core and then work along with your core.
Correct.
So a lot of times things happen that in the journey people change their direction, change the way of things are to be done. So that's something which we've done very well. From day one, we've kept our vision of 300 cities. We've ensured that we continue in that journey. We've kept improvising, looking at better, real estate, looking at enhancement of design. Because over the last 8 years, we've seen that the expectation of the employee, the expectation of the customer has changed substantially.
Drastically, yeah.
They are looking a lot more for open space. They are looking a lot more for activity area. So they're okay that their workspace is limited, but they want a lot more breakout area. So there have been a lot of change in design. So we've kept up with that pace throughout the journey. But our core being pan-India reach, our core being reaching all the 28 states across India, we've kept that and we've built everything around that. So I think that has been one of our biggest differentiation, that we've kept to our core and kept improvising to get to a goal.
What has been that one strategy for MyBranch which has been the core of your business growth? Like what is the vehicle you all choose to expand your business?
So one of the most important parameters, I would say, because there are a couple of parameters, one of the most important would be customer satisfaction. Because we've kept our customer happy, these customers have helped us to expand and reach 75 cities. So a lot of our growth has only come because of a good service. Our customers believe that MyBranch can do it, MyBranch will do it, and MyBranch has done it. And because of these things, they keep giving us more order book, they are giving us expansion, and because of this, a couple of pointers for MyBranch that, customer satisfaction is more than 90%, our customer retention is more than 90%.
Wow, I think
which are again, breakthrough numbers within this industry.
I don't think anyone achieves 90% of retention.
Yeah. So that's the reason. So if your customers are happy, they will ensure your growth, and that is exactly that has happened, where our happy customers have ensured the growth of MyBranch, and of course we're thankful to them only to ensure that we've hit Ambala as a 75th city.
Wow. So what I understand from this is that when you select a city, it's not just a random selection, but it's based on what your customer wants, and then you all set that up and deliver in that city itself.
Absolutely. In fact, it's more than that also, is because we also have to check a lot more parameters like potential of business in that city.
Okay.
So what are the kind of banks, NBFC, insurance that are there in the city? We also look at the population, because demographics are provided of what population is there in each city, because that tells you how much business potential is there. We look at Naukri details. Naukri publishes data on a monthly basis of where the hiring is increasing, decreasing. We look at education institutes that are available in the city. So we look at a couple of points, and then we decide whether we should go ahead or not.
The first client was Franklin Templeton.
You mean MyBranch's first ever client?
Yeah.
They're still your client.
They are still our client.
Wow.
And that time the branch concept was not there. Even co-working or business centers were not popular.
We're talking pre-COVID.
Yeah, I'm talking about 2016.
Oh.
Okay, so telling them that we are coming up with this concept. Finally, they agreed to go ahead with us. But their CEO, she said to me that Mr. Bhargava, we are associating international brand with a very small brand. Please ensure that you do not let us down. For the simple reason, we are just taking 10% of the space of your office. If your balance office does not get filled, what you can give me an assurance that you will not close down the office if it doesn't get full? I told them that this is my commitment. Irrespective whether we get any other customers or not, you will never face any problem. And we kept that commitment, because the cities that we gave them, for next 2 years we never got single customers. And we were just running with them, so the customer, though they were occupying only about 400 square feet of place, but they were enjoying 4,000 square feet of place.
Wow.
But I think it's the commitment what you make to a customer is the real thing. That is the thing which gives not only the customer but their entire team a sort of confidence that if it's said, it will be delivered.
Now, a milestone like 75 cities isn't achieved alone, it's a team effort. Kushal sir, what role has the MyBranch family, your employees, your colleagues, partners and clients have played in making this possible?
So we are here only because of them. In service sector or in any business, the employees, the customers, your vendors, they form the core, they form the backbone of the organization. So everybody, in fact, most of our regional managers have been there from day one. We have someone in Prayagraj. From the day when the branch started, he's there. Our Guwahati branch, the day it started, that same regional manager, today who's regional manager, is there today. So we've had a lot of employees who have been there with us from day one. They are there today, and because of that, they know the business. It's very important when something like a co-working is evolving. You need to have the right set of people who understand that evolution. and how to go through that evolution. So having employees who have been there for so long, our vendors have also been there. In fact, our vendors were there in MyBranch. They've been vendors for us even in other organizations, and they've been working with us for over 20 years.
Wow.
So that makes the journey a lot more easier. And like I mentioned earlier also, that there's no looking back. So when you have someone who's protecting your back, you have to only look forward and look at how to expand, how to do more and more business. So consistent, performing employees, vendors, that is very important for any growth in business. And we were lucky to have that.
Now let's switch gears a little bit. Kushal sir, working with your father must be a unique experience. Be honest, who's the stricter boss? You or Narayan sir?
I think the answer is me for sure.
I think Narayan sir will be honest.
Yeah, so it's me for sure, because it's very important. I mean, both of us being chartered accountants, at least personally, I'm very strong on numbers, and because you're very strong on numbers, it's very difficult to see it in another way.
Narayan
And
sir,
I personally feel that for success of any organization, the top man cannot be strict. It is the second man who has to be strict for the success of any organization.
that's a great insight. Yeah. So all the young people who are doing their businesses can surely take from
So,
that.
so the top man has to be seen by the world as person who will adjust.
Correct.
But I don't think so. The choice is there with the second man.
What is it like to see your vision grow and evolve under Kushal sir's leadership? And do you still get to say, I told you so every now and then?
To your this question, I'm reminded of advertisement of Xerox. It said, copy is better than the original.
Wow.
Okay, so I think that is the situation. Kushal is better than the original. And I think younger people have more energy, they have better vision, they are more focused because they don't have the legacy of creating the group behind them, the difficulties or anything. So I think they are perfect performers. And I think that is what has helped Kushal in growing the MyBranch.
Reaching 75 cities is an incredible achievement, but we know MyBranch isn't stopping here. Kushal sir, what's the vision for your next phase of growth? I mean, from a 75 to, I'm sure the next target would be 100. So what's your focus on this, the next quarter of the journey?
So the next focus, I would say, we've not kept it for a quarter, because putting up newer cities is a lot more difficult. So we've kept our next focus on setting up 2.5 lakh square feet.
Oh wow, so it's not a city number now, it's a square footage number.
So of course city is part of the journey.
Of course.
But it's important that you get to a size. Because it's important that even though when you're present in tier 2, a lot of places where we have customers asking for expansion, because they had also not envisaged that such large kind of business will be present. A classic example, I speak with everybody of a city called Rajmundry, where we got demand from a client, and within 6 months we had 4-5 clients including Godrej Capital, Grant Thornton, Naukri, Amazon and Access Finance, all in the same city. And these are cities, something which at least I would say I was not aware of. So that's right. So our next expansion is of course going to be in terms of cities. We are looking at hitting, the milestone of 25 each. So we are looking at 100 cities coming sooner than the last 25. But yeah, we are looking more to set up 2.5 lakh square feet and give a better experience to our customers.
Does your focus still remain on tier 2, tier 3 cities, or does it also include tier 1 and metropolitan cities as well?
See, this question I think we've gone through a couple of years back, but I think the answer is very clear, because it's always better to be king of something than be jack of all. So in tier 2, more than 50% of the cities where we are, we have a monopoly. So why not, why not capitalize on cities, on trust, on value which you already created in tier 2, rather than the fight, the market which is already, cluttered. The metro markets of Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad are so cluttered. It's only a price war.
Absolutely.
Whereas for us, I think price doesn't even come in the parameter. The parameter when a customer who selects MyBranch is compliance, location, and then price. Whereas in metros, it is price first, then micro market, and then compliance. Because a lot of time compliance is a given. That's right. So we are in a different segment, and it's important that if you're in a different segment, you dominate the segment, and you want to dominate the segment that we are in.
I would like to clarify one myth. people feel that the tier 2 cities, the rentals would be cheaper. But my experience is they are on par with tier 1 cities. So my message to everyone would be, don't think that tier 2 cities are cheaper or tier 3 cities are cheaper, because rentals are as high as tier 1 city.
So there's a boom in real estate in tier 2, tier 3 cities, and that boom is something which metros are not able to see. I would say, in fact, the rental yields in a tier 2 city will be between 8 to 12%, and in metros this is something between 3 to 5%. So you can see the large difference. The rental yields are there in the tier 2 cities. So in fact, tier 2 is the market to be there.
Narayan sir, as the founder of MyBranch, what message would you like to share to your clients, partners and team members as you celebrate this milestone of 75 cities?
People should not travel for work, work should travel.
Yeah.
So that is what we have done. We don't want people to travel to main cities. We are ensuring that the work travels to the smaller cities.
How a vision grew from one city to 75, all while staying true to your vision and philosophy. To our viewers, this milestone is not just a celebration of growth, it's a testament to what's possible with vision, hard work and a dedicated team. To learn more about how MyBranch is transforming workspaces across the country, click on the link below and join the Workspace Without Limits movement. Thank you for your time.